we are going to be talking about the Glamlite and the Chucky collection. Okay, so I picked up the eye palette and the 2 lip palettes. I did not pick up the blush palette. The blush palette was 2 pans of blush, had the same kind of nifty boxing that the palette does, but they ended up having to put both of the same color of blush in it, apparently because one of the catchphrases on one of the blushes had not been approved, and so they weren't able to go forward with that, so they just had to put the same blush in both sides. I didn't really need any more blushes. Today I put on the Strawberry Shortcake blush, also from Glamlite. Nice bright pink blush. You know, you could put it more centrally to your cheeks if you wanted more of that, you know, possessed doll look. But for right now, it's the nice doll, Strawberry Shortcake. I did apply some of the Danessa Myricks, the highlighter, the Vision Glow, whatever is on my cheeks. I'll post it in the box below. I'm going to sneeze now. Hang on. Pardon me. Okay. Sorry about that. My sinuses are having a lot of fun this morning without me. Apologies. So the Chucky palette, this is the outer boxing. I decided to pick these up. I did watch all the Chuckies back in my horror phase, and I always think that it's highly effective when they have children being, you know, terrified by things. Chucky, things like Poltergeist, Cujo, you know, that we always have that immediate kind of a feeling of empathy for being scared and being a child. That's just kind of built in as a horror sort of a trope. There's also the, you know, scary childlike doll or child gone mad and homicidal, you know, like Pet Cemetery, or in this case the Chucky doll also, you know, looks like a kid, looks cute, and yet the uncanny valley, he's actually a possessed doll. I don't love horror anymore. I actually read, a friend of mine writes about a horror script a year that I read, and I have other friends that produce horror. And so I have a background in horror, but I don't particularly like to write straight up horror because I don't love torture porn, and I love, you know, a happy ending. I don't like it when nobody wins. I feel like the whole, you know, when you come out of a horror movie feeling the best is when somebody has found a way to get through it. For the most part, that's my favorite. So I'm just picky. So the lip kits come in these little boxes with pull out. Struggle. Okay, this is what they come in, the little pull out. They have a lipstick and a lip liner. This is Tiff. And then this is Chucky, which is really cute, highly giftable. It did come out during Valentine's Day. It launched on Valentine's Day, so it was too late if you wanted to surprise your sweetie with a lovely Valentine's gift of Chucky and Tiffany. But I found that it's one of those lovely ironic things, the anti-Valentine's Day, the, you know, Adam Sandler and the Wedding Singer singing Love Stinks. I feel like that was just a really great choice, if you're not going to launch it at Halloween, to launch it for Valentine's Day. I thought that was really pretty swell. But I didn't pick up the blush, not just because the pans were both the same, but because I've got a lot of blush lately. I've been picking up a lot of blush, which you're going to be seeing as we go along through this year. If I can ever get video shot. Work is just ruining my fun. But anyway, so I did pick up the palette. One of the reasons that I picked it up, I've been really loving Glamlite's formula, and the color story got me. It totally got me. I would hesitate to say this is a goth girl's wet dream. So it's got cute little packaging. And then this is the color story. Now some of these shades remind me a little bit of shades that were in like the Anastasia, the Rose Metals palette, when you get them swatched, and I'll put up swatches of this. But it's just got all these lovely plums and grays and blacks and sparkly plum in black. And so I really was most taken by the actual makeup. And I also wanted to see palettes like the Barbie palette, the Michaela palette, you know, all the Martini palettes. I've loved the formulas on. Now the Scooby-Doo was a little harder to work with, and I think maybe because it's those dark mattes. And so like I'm very interested to see how these guys work with it, the deep plums, the deep mattes, with that. So that was of interest to me, more so the palette itself than the collaboration. So I'm going to be using my stiffer brush to go into this. And what I want to do, I feel like every look of this is going to be kind of goth. And so that's what I'm just going to jump in and embrace. And I'm going to start out with some of the grays, the grayish taupey colors towards the inner part of my eye, and then just really fall into all the plums and the rest of it. And then we'll see how far we get. Removing my spectacles. Now, the thing about really all of these is that I've been really loving Glamlite's formula, and I feel like whatever they're setting out to do, they're doing it fairly well. Like I said, the Scooby-Doo palette, and I'm starting with this guy. The Scooby-Doo palette may be the hardest one to work with of the kind of the modern version of Glamlite stuff going on. So I feel like I'm pretty safe diving into a lot of the Glamlite makeup, and I did not pick up and I'm going into plums now along the line. I did not pick up the not eyeshadow, but the eyeliner duo. It was a liquid liner and a pencil liner. And I didn't pick that up because I got the liquid liner with the Barbie collection, the one that was in the case that looked like a surfboard. And it was fine. It was good. But not really, like the shape of it didn't really suit me as far as being a liquid liner. Nice waterproof formula. And so it's like, well, okay, maybe this one, because it's a more of a normal shape of a pencil for a liquid liner, I might like, but I just don't wear liquid liner that much. Now also the other black liner, I thought, well, maybe I could do that, but I use black eyeliner rarely, and if I do, I'm using my Laura Mercier. Not my Laura Mercier, my Laura Geller. I'm not awake this morning, by the way. Okay, so I've used this, then I'm using this in the crease. I'm gonna blend more on this. She said more on. Okay, and then I'm gonna just start diving deeper into the berries. But I thought I don't really need a black liner. I'm good. And then also the idea being that I've loved the lipsticks, and I was just wanting to dive more into that. So I got both kits, and I'm not unhappy about that. I actually think that both of the lip kits are interesting, and we'll get into more about that as we go. So far, these are going on really nicely. I'll probably be revisiting this quite a bit. I may not be doing it on camera because I don't know how interesting it is to y'all to be seeing more grungy goth girl looks. Okay, so I'm going into the what looks like to be the deepest of the plums right here. And really a lot of these are just variation on a theme of plum or gray black, but that's okay. I don't mind. So anyway, I feel like this is probably going to be a palette that I'll reach for myself. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my fluffy brush, and I'm going to blend up just a little bit of that on the top. Try not to blend away my deeper color read from below, but just to give that a little bit of blending. I have a one-on-one with my supervisor first thing at work this morning, so I'm gonna be going in all dark and grungy for my early morning meeting. Okay, and some of this right here I'm gonna be covering up with other. Okay, so I'm gonna take because we're gonna do underneath, and then I'm gonna do, so I'm going in with, they've got great names. He's Back is what I'm going to go in with, but there's the Let's Be Friends, Charles Lee Ray, and then Free Hugs. Never take the free hugs. So I think I'm going to go with the He's Back because it's a black with sparkly purple on it. I'm going to go underneath with that. Oh, she is pigmented. For being as pigmented as all these are, I'm not really getting a lot of fallout when I'm using a stiff brush and applying more of padding than, you know, the only place that I did that was the top where I'm just trying to blend it out a little more with the fluffy brush, but otherwise I'm using a stiff brush, tapping it in, but I'm not really having a lot of fallout, knock on wood. Okay, and it's funny because you can see the place on my eye where my color doesn't take because I have my birthmark there that's kind of, you can't really see it, but I'll have to try and add just a wee bit more color at that point in time. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my finger Chucky and Tiff Forever, and then Wanna Play. So I'm gonna do this more in that middle section and this towards the beginning there. Okay, so that's, and again, you've seen swatches of this already. See how metallic that is? Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you getting so close this morning, but, and we'll get closer. No. Sorry. Okay, so I'll wipe off my finger and then do that lightest shade, the Wanna Play, which is Chucky's tagline. He's one of those dolls that if you pull on his string, he has all these different catchphrases, and that's one of them. I think it's really one of those things, it's like more, let your kids pick out their own, you know, dolls that talk. You know, like, if they have a good feeling about it, you know, then that's fine. If not, you know, then they won't. You know, you can buy them all sorts of other things for holidays. Okay, I'm taking in that sparkly silvery gray. Okay, and now let me take and fix, see if I can't get more color to stay on that spot. Okay, that's a little better. All right. I'm gonna apply a little mascara, and then we're gonna go to the lip palettes. So that actually worked out pretty well, and I'm really liking this. It's not that I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of different looks with this palette. You could do just silvers, grays, and then you could do the more purples, and you could really blend it out and have a lighter look. But I feel like if I'm channeling that kind of energy, I'm probably going to the goth. I do have a couple of horror movies in my collection, and some things that aren't necessarily touted as horror movies, but that I find to be such. I always think it's funny. You can tell places that, I used to work in a video store for just a hot second, and they kept putting the movie Parents in the comedy section. And I know it's because of who the actors were, but it was, you know, like a 1950s cannibal family movie, which wasn't really comedy. It was just pretty much straight up a horror movie. So I would get all annoyed. I'd come in for my work shift and I'd have to move Parents back over to the horror. And then there was ones that I had to move from the horror section to the comedy section, you know, and it was like, what's wrong with you people? But the other people that worked there didn't watch horror, so they didn't know. So anyway, so the lip palettes. The Chucky is a lighter beigey mauve tone lip color with a brown lip liner. And then the Tiff is a dark berry lip liner with a dark berry lip color. Now the packaging for these is heavier and sturdier. Like the Scooby-Doo ones were just light plastic. They felt like play makeup. These are heavier. It's just a snap closure. Plastic this, yeah, but this is kind of like the faux metal, the covered. And then the bullet lipsticks, little embossing on them. So it feels sturdier and heavier and more like actual makeup rather than play makeup like the Scooby-Doo lip colors. The downside to this packaging smells horribly like plastic, like toxic plasticky smells. And the thing is, the makeup itself doesn't have a fragrance to it. If it has maybe just a little bit of makeup-y smell to it, but no fragrance. These are more like a velvet matte. And I like the lip colors themselves. And once the plastic packaging chills out a little bit, it's not as bad, but you do kind of smell that when you get up at first, close to your nose. And so just know it's not the actual product, it's the packaging, and it does dissipate. But that was one of the things that annoyed me with it. But anyway, cute little Tiff. Cute little Chucky. And then the Chucky, this is what I'm going to wear today. I've worn all of them in different things, but I'm going to wear just the lip color by itself. Now the lip liners, the lipstick. So you've got both, there's the Chucky lip liner, and then there's the Tiff lip liner. And the thing is, any of the Glamlite's liners, when you get them, are sharpened just within an inch of their life. They are really sharp and pokey because they are just the most pencil tiny lip liner. So if you try and apply them directly forward to it, it's going to feel like you're stabbing your lips. Don't do that. Either turn it to the side and use it gently like this, or sharpen with your own sharpener, which actually will not make it sharper, it'll make it less sharper and therefore more comfortable. After that, it's a firm sort of a liner, but it's really nice. It comes on really easily, but it stays put. And I really love their liners. The Glamlite Frosted Flakes lip liner was my surprise hit of the summer last year. And I do appreciate these liners. Just either resharpen them on your own to make them less sharp, or just use them sideways, or you can do them off on your hand until the point is a little less sharp so they're not like poking you in the lips. But lovely lip liners, really enjoy those. The lipstick, and again I'm going to use the Chucky one. The lipstick, that whole kind of velvet matte, has a good body to it, a good thickness. Does stay on really nicely as far as that goes, and the wear time is good. Like the colors, again, when you first get them, kind of a little bit of, you want to use it a little bit to kind of smooth it out, warm it up. But after you've used it, just that first time, it'll go on really nicely. But it does feel like a matte lipstick going on. And like I said, the packaging doesn't smell good. The product itself is okay. So it won't, once you put it on, it won't stay smelling like a plastic. It's just the... Okay, so as you see, I'm gonna get a little closer. It does have that nice sheen to it. A nice feel. It doesn't feel overly drying, and it does wear a long time. So it's a thicker bodied sort of a formula in that velvety category. And if I wanted to darken it up, I could, since I'm doing the little purples thing today, I could go in with the Tiff lip liner, which is more of the deep berry, and line it. But I'm trying to keep my lip color a little bit lighter since I've got the dark eye and I'm going to be zooming professionally this morning. I'll get a little closer. Don't panic. Okay. So there you have it. So I'm enjoying this. I'm really liking the lip formulas, minus the smell of the lipstick bullet packaging. The packaging is like 12 out of 10. Like, especially if you're a horror fan, you're gonna love this. This is very collectible. They did do a hand mirror also, which I did not pick up because I like my cute and fluffy hand mirror. Yes. Because I'm not always dark and terrible. So anyway, if you're, as a collector, I believe they're sold out right now, but they may end up doing another one. Probably depends on what they have going on as far as their deal, their collaboration with that. But I feel like with Glamlite, I feel pretty safe at this point in time trying the eye palettes and the lip colors. The other ancillary items, I don't know that they have worked out yet. I would be willing to try another pencil eyeliner from them if it wasn't just black. I don't think I need other black. And I'm not so enamored with the collaboration with the Child's Play that I wanted to get everything. I just wanted to try the makeup itself. And again, this is really lovely dark packaging and color. So I think I'm gonna really like this. I'm going to, of course, I got this home and my partner was like, why did you get a Chucky palette? And I'm like, it's the makeup. I wanted to, and he's like, it's okay, whatever. So like he was trying to figure out, like, had I gone mad? But no, I did want to try those lovely colors, and the colors are more of a fall palette. They feel like that. They feel like more, this is a Halloween kind of a thing, but I do love the fact that it launched on Valentine's Day, and it's all the good, all the deep plums and blacks, it's kind of the anti-Valentine's. So anyway, I am all ready to go start my work day, have my one-on-one. and hopefully have happy thoughts, not scary Chucky thoughts. So anyway, hope you are doing well, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.